questions. So, how do you think that the photos with the text get into the app?
I would assume that you're, of course, taking a picture with your camera, and then when you first downloaded the app, you set the permissions. You know that it's okay for it to access the camera roll.
Okay.
It just pulls them into the app.
So, when you start up the app, would you expect that it would automatically go ahead and grab any new photos that have text, or the way that it worked right now, which is that you have to tell it, you go ahead and bring us some new stuff?
Yeah, I wouldn't expect it to necessarily go grab them, because then, of course, there's a certain level of smartness in terms of it's deciding that this is a text photo. So there would maybe be the problem that you'd pull in everything, and that'd be a bit of a pain. So yeah, I wouldn't necessarily expect that it would pull in everything, but maybe if it did have the ability to identify text and it pulled it in and gave you options to choose from, that would be useful. It certainly would be more efficient in terms of the way that I currently is using the camera roll, which is actually I just find the picture I want and then I do something with it. So I think, yeah, that would be absolutely fine if it was you had to manually bring them in, because you actually want to do something with those rather than them all sitting in there.
Okay. What would be a good word or phrase to describe that act of, hey, go get for me new photos that aren't currently in the app but have text on them and bring them in? How would you describe that?
Yeah, it'd be like a auto find function, or like a text search or something. It'd be that kind of thing.
Okay. So once the app has brought in all the photos, in the demonstration you saw, first it showed you just the ones it just brought in, and then there was the ability to click and see all. Do you think it'd make more sense to show all the photos that have been brought in, or?
Yeah, whether it makes sense or not is the difficult question. But yeah, if you're trying to, I guess, align with my current path, my current way of actually dealing with those photos, it is open up the camera roll, slide through everything, because it's got context. The camera roll actually has context. It's like, well, I know I was in a store this day, or I was doing this, so that's where I can find,
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. I hadn't thought of it that way, but that's perfect. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how, because I can't remember the dates. I maybe can't remember what was in the text. I maybe know the rough subject. So
it was before the day I took this picture.
Yeah,
exactly.
Like, I know that. It was around that time.
Brilliant. Okay, cool. So that helps a little bit. Okay. So what order do you think the pictures with text should be shown in?
I feel like date seems to be the obvious way. Just when they were actually taken, because again, that's my frame of reference. It was this one before that one happened on a Wednesday because I was in class on that day, or there was a meeting on Thursday. That's why I have that picture. So I think date is the real key identifier there.
Okay, and would that be most recent on top, or?
Yeah, absolutely, most recent on top. Yeah.
And that's kind of the way that things are shown in photos. Right?
Yeah, most recent on the bottom.
Exactly.
Which is the top, effectively, yeah. And then you scroll back up. Yeah.
Last question. I started looking at something called a wearable scanner. And in fact, this is what the original engineering prototype looked like.
Okay.
And the idea was that you could wear it, you could walk up to a piece of paper and literally, there's a pressure sensor, and you just kind of and scan a line of text that way.
Yeah.
But as you can see, it was not exactly wireless. It's kind of like the opposite of wireless. So it was really good at the requiring a lot of wires, and it was very clunky and things like that. But can you think of a situation in which you would be comfortable wearing or would want to wear something like a wireless scanner, or a wireless version of a wearable scanner?
Yeah, I mean, I can take it to my personal experience. I mean, we do a lot of facilitation of workshops, or I perhaps run group meetings, and we do lots of people bring documents with them, but also we're writing on the whiteboard. So if you were the facilitator, it would almost be a facilitation tool that you could actually just, almost go up to a whiteboard or someone's document they brought with them, scan that text, maybe throw it up on a big screen for people to discuss or add to a collaborative document. I think it would be really useful in that regards to save someone having to sit and scribe this information. And then I guess in general it would be, I can imagine in general industry, or if you're, I don't know, working some kind of a warehouse situation and you just need to be quickly grabbing numbers or product information or something of that nature in order to highlight it or flag it. But then again, I guess you'd use barcodes and so on. Yeah, I think it could be good. The other thing I could think that I would use this is when we get massive documents from clients in the form of a printout or something, and they maybe have done their own research and they've got like a 180-page research document of useless stuff, but you're going through a physical printout and then you're like, I would like to grab that snippet, piece. That bit there. Yeah, that would be that'd be useful.
Okay, and how would you expect one of these things to operate?
I think wireless AU is a big thing. You would kind of almost want to. You'd slip it on. I guess it'd be the equivalent of putting like a Bluetooth earpiece over your ear or something. You just want to slip it on, and then I think the natural way is like tracing, like a child reads, putting their line along the text. Kind of feels very natural in that regard. And then you'd want it paired to, I guess, your mobile phone, seeing as it's right there. But if it went up to the cloud of its own device, then excellent. But maybe that's gonna. I would sacrifice that for smaller size, for sure.
Okay, super.